Hello, class. Craig here. It is my pleasure to, after reading the messages and stuff, I try to give these weekly office hour updates. After my office hour today, a number of students stopped by and had questions about searching for sources from the library database for SA1. For SA1, remember, you're answering a simple question. Does Luis Mallard die of joy? Is it literal joy? Is she happy to see him? Is it ironic joy, the opposite of happiness? Is she sad to see him? Or is it something else? Is it metaphorical joy? Is it figurative joy? Remember, everybody should have a quote that of heart disease, of joy that kills, somewhere in your intro paragraph, because that's what the whole point of this essay is to answer that question. So how do you prove your point that she's either happy to see him, sad to see him, or it's something else? She dies of metaphorical joy, shock, figurative joy. It's not her joy at seeing him. It's the joy of her new life that's ripped away that kills her. So how are you going to prove that? By analyzing the elements of fiction: plot, character, setting, symbolism, style, point of view, theme. Now, you could write this paper just by quoting from the story and analyzing those elements. Okay, what makes it an academic argument is your carefully structured research. So the easiest place to go to get articles for any of the essays you write in this class is the MiraCosta database, right? You go to the home page and click on library. It's up in the upper right hand corner here, right? Takes you to the library homepage. Then you click on databases. If you need help, a librarian is always available. Make use of that. Then when you get to the databases, they have these suggested ones up top. Go to L. This is a literature class. We read and write about literature. You can use literature criticism online. You can use LitFinder. I use Literature Resource Center. It'll ask you for your Surf ID when you log in. I've already logged in so that we can get right to it. Now, what do you start with? As I said on the prompt, start by searching the author's name, right? Then narrow it down by title of work. Browse all. Okay, wait, no, sorry. So we want to go literature, excuse me. See, again, this isn't exactly super duper easy. Gale Literature Resource Center, Gale Literature Criticism, LitFinder. So again, forgive me, and hey, nobody's perfect. So when you go to the L and you click on Literature Resource Center, it's going to take you to the Gale product menu, then click on literature again, right? Let me I'll show you that. Literature Resource Center. It takes you to the product menu. So this is a new update. That's why I'm doing this with you so that everybody knows what's up. Now, any of these will work. Use the Literature Resource Center. That's my personal favorite. So now watch, when I type in Kate Chopin, it'll already pop up. Click on the one that pops up with her name. Chopin Kate, there it is. Okay, so now there's 536 sources. Let me move this around. Search by name of work. The Story of an Hour brings it down to 12. Apply. Now, if you want to go even further, you can modify the search by adding a theme. But I think 12 is good, because of these 12, I'm going to tell you what are probably the best, top 4 or 5 to pick. Look at the titles, and then you get a little blurb about what the article is about. Rhetorical force from a combination of factors. Now, this is a different story, so look for the ones with the Story of an Hour in the title. Again, the name of the work is part of the search because that means they're comparing or contrasting, but if you look at the title, the focal point isn't the Story of an Hour. Keep going down. And you can use any of these. Again, if you want to get articles about, from a psychological standpoint, from a scientific standpoint, about you can or cannot die from joy, you can die from shock, but not joy. You want to look at it from a mechanical, heart standpoint and bring in scientific journals. Again, all you have to do is make sure that you bring in 3 outside sources that are reputable, and you should have at least 1 quote from each, so that you can synthesize their ideas, blend them with your analysis to make an academic argument. And we write academic arguments. What is an academic argument? Carefully structured research. So you're going to quote from and analyze the story and organize it based on the elements of fiction, plot, character, setting, symbol, style, point of view, and theme. And then you'll bring in quotes from at least 3 sources. If you would, look at this title, Fatal Self-Assertion in Kate Chopin's The Story of an Hour. Great source. And sometimes they're duplicated. The Autonomous Female Self and the Death of Louise Mallard in The Story of an Hour. Great source. An overview of The Story of an Hour. Great source. Right? Cunningham. So look at the description. Berkov views the character of Louise Mallard as an immature egotist and victim of her own extreme self-assertion. Hence the title, Fatal Self-Assertion. The Autonomous Female Self and the Death of Louise Mallard. Right? In the following essay, Cunningham maintains that the heroine dies of shock, resulting from an overwhelming feeling of freedom. So you might use this to support your reading, or you might again contrast it. Jennifer Hicks. Following essay, she discusses the theme of female self-assertion. Again, when other people write about literature, they also focus on the elements of fiction, just like you're going to do. So you can bring in critics to support your ideas. You can disagree with the critics in a respectful manner, engage in dialectical thinking. Again, it's up to you how you want to shape your academic argument. Now, this one, Chopin's The Story of an Hour, in the following essay, Deneau treats, I'll let you finish reading. It's a very, very different argument. And if you are looking for one that you might want to bring in as a counter argument, although he does base it on the fact of the definition of the word possess back then, right? This is Chopin's The Story of an Hour. I think Deneau's argument, when you read the summary of it, I think it's a bit different, and I find it to be somewhat far-fetched. But again, he does base it on factual evidence, and that's the whole point, is that you're using facts from the story. Your 2F, right? When your exercise 2F, when you listed those facts, and now you're organizing them under the elements of fiction to prove your point, and then you'll bring in facts, quotes, from your secondary sources as well. So the MiraCosta database is a great place to do your research for the whole, any paper you write this semester. Another thing, Google the author's name. She has her own website, and most authors will. So down the road, if you're writing about a poet or a different author that you want to go beyond the MiraCosta database, if they have their own website and it's a .org, even better. Now, again, let's stay away from Wikipedia. You can use that as a search engine. Use the article links at the bottom and get the primary sources. You don't want to be citing encyclopedias, but there are some biographies, AmericanLiterature.com, biography.com. Again, for most famous authors, you can use those documents. But what I want to draw your attention to, in addition to the MiraCosta database and those 4 or 5 articles, is click on katechopin.org and go to the document biography. This is a wonderful source, and it's going to give you some insight into her life. And again, a big thing going on at this time, right, was the role of women, the expectations of women, especially within marriages, and if they wanted to leave a relationship, what are their options? You'll notice that Kate Chopin's husband passed away. Again, we're not writing a paper on Kate Chopin, but there are quotes in this document that you could use in your essay, and it's a wonderful secondary source. And kind of keep in mind, from a setting, right, a milieu standpoint, the social and political context of the time, I think a lot of that plays a role. So this document will help give you some background information on the time frame when Chopin was writing and on her as a writer. So that being said, hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Again, to review, we have katechopin.org, right? We have the MiraCosta Library Database, and when you click on L for literature, go to Literature Resource Center. You can use any of these literature ones, but that's my personal favorite. When you get to the Gale product menu, they're all listed again. Click on Literature, click on Gale Literature Resource Center. If you have any questions, get in touch. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for your patience, as always, with these videos.